started, we've got Pete here tonight, along with Mr. Bennett, I believe, who is under the Bennett's login. All right. And they're going to go over a few things. We had spoken specifically about the UVA Syracuse game, I think, because it was kind of cool that we saw both of them on that game. And there were some things that popped up, but they've also grabbed a few other things that they want to go over that you might benefit from. Feel free to put some questions in the chat and we'll try to relay them to them if they are time sensitive or on a specific play. And then if we want to ask some questions at the end, we'll certainly give you time to do that and get everybody out of here no later than 8 o'clock. All right. I know Pete's probably going to put his kids to bed. And
Yeah,
so,
he's right about that, Marty.
And so does Dan.
Well,
all right. Thanks for joining us tonight, guys. Go ahead. Yeah.
Thanks for inviting me, Marty. This is a good time. The biggest thing I can stress when we watch this is put yourself in situations. Video, the NFHS is huge for video. Every game is being recorded. It's, what is it, Marty, a $10 subscription maybe? It's very cheap, right, Marty? How much is it?
Honestly, I don't know because most of the time I can see what I need to see through Huddle. The problem is we don't have our Huddle account, but I know that, yeah, the Federation, ever since we got through COVID, has a pretty cheap membership to see almost everything.
And that's the best thing is every game that you do, there's definitely plays that come out of it. And you're like, oh, did I get that right? How could I have done that better? And the best thing you do is on your scorecard, right? Maybe before you write down a goal or whatever during timeout, I'll be like, look at the clock when the play occurred and just write down, oh, 10-12 or something like that. So it triggers your mind. So when you go back and watch it, oh, here's 10-12. Oh, this is what happened. So the best thing, video, you learn so much from it. Like Marty said, I got clips from Syracuse, Virginia plays in here, a smattering of other games that I've seen or games that I've been fortunate to be a part of. Once again, the biggest thing with clips is we are not trying to embarrass anybody. We have good clips on here and bad clips on here. So we're not trying to embarrass anybody. We're all just trying to get better in general. All right. So what I'll do is I'll play the clip and I'll see what's going on and what we could have maybe done better if we have something positive. We just work through everything mechanics. And like Marty said, the Q&A is going to be huge. If you have questions on a ruling, and if I get something incorrect via high school ruling, please jump out and get me. Or if Marty wants to chime in like, oh no, we want to do this instead, then that's great too, because we always want to do what our boss wants us to do correctly. So here's the first one. We got High Point, Virginia here. They're going to throw the ball. The ball's going to go out of bounds here. But look at the official at the bottom of the screen. Right here, boom. This right here. Right? This is something mechanics-wise we need to get better in position of. He's in the team box right here, right? He needs to be further out over. Can you guys see my big yellow arrow? Can you guys all see that big cursor?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Thanks, Lou. So we want to be, so this guy's in position here. We want to be back further, right where this pylon would be, right? He is going to be in the team box, and look what's going to happen here. He gets further driven back, right? He comes up, makes a correct call, push, but then look what the coach is doing, right? He was in there with the coach. And when he comes out, it's almost looking like the coach is helping him make the call, which is not good. So you see where his pylon was? We want him back to be over there. We'll play through. Look at the coach come all the way out too. So I know this particular official talked to the coach afterwards saying, hey, don't be coming out to the field. I can see them having a conversation right here. So we'll go back to it one time here. Look at it again. Ball comes out. We're going to have white push here in a second. There's the push right there. And just his positioning. We need to get in better position than that. So in general, mechanics will save you. If you're in the right position, 95% of the time, you will make the correct call. All right. Next play here. We're going to have a situation here where white's going to throw the ball out of bounds. And let's see if we can catch why the restart did not occur fast. Ready? Here we go. Ball's thrown out of bounds. Boom. Here we go. Ready to roll.
The coach do it.
Yep. Exactly right. little things like restarts. This is critical because somebody, I don't know who said it, but somebody said the coach threw the ball back in here. We'll show it again, right? Marty, in high school, NFHS, you want to slow down too for this, right? If this occurs, if a player, coach, or somebody throws the ball back into the player.
Yeah, certainly. Anything that gives somebody an unfair advantage, make sure, it's just like if we blow the whistle the wrong way, we're going to make sure everybody knows the situation before we put it back in play. We're not going to disadvantage anybody.
So that's what happened here. The guy threw it, tossed it right back in. Heck, if I blow it in now, that's a big advantage for blue right away. They're ready to go. Instead, we just hold up, we wait, slow everything down. Sometimes hit a couple steps back, and then we blow it back in. So mechanics again, mechanics. Gotta know mechanics. All right. This play actually happened this weekend. It happened yesterday. This is Marquette Air Force. And once again, mechanics. We're going to show something here. So they're going to clear the ball, Air Force is, and I'll let you in. Marquette's going to have 7 people forward, which single side will throw it. If you'll see the flag, but the flag definitely is down right now. They clear the ball over 60, no problem. And this is what occurs. They're going to work the ball around, and we're going to pause it right here. So we got 6 on blue. There's somebody back here behind the goal, right? So we got 6 guys on blue right now. Let's play it through.
Closing all the stuff I've got going.
All right. They're doing the substitution wheel.
Good, dude, good.
Okay. We're still working the ball here. So I'm going to bring it down below GLE. So obviously the single and lead are all looking for stuff inside, making sure we're straight. And look what's going to happen here. So we're ball behind the cage here. Single and lead still got it. Oh, wait. Oh, shit. Excuse my language. How many people in blue? We got 7. Somebody came in early, or somebody came across on blue. And guess what? Oh, wait, shot? Oh, no. We get a save. Thank you, Lord. Lacrosse guys are looking out for us, right? So then we come over, right? Give the penalty for too many men. And then the lead comes over and talks to the single and says, oh no, Air Force had 7 people. So, word to the wise, if you're the trail coming in, right, and there's substitutions happening behind you, we are always counting, because they should have never, ever got a shot off. Because imagine if they would have scored on that play, how bad that would have looked, right? We would have had egg in our face because we would have caught it. He came in and said 7, but then we had to take a goal down and then force a foul on Marquette. I mean, on White, it would have looked horrible. So count. It is imperative. When you're coming in as the trail, you're the last count, you're the last hope, because all the action is happening down below with the single and lead. So count. This could have been a really bad situation. Marty, you monitoring the questions? I see 6 up there. I don't know if that matters. I'm just asking.
Yeah, they're just comments. A couple of them were mine. I don't think we have anything.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Good.
Cool. All right, so mechanics. All right, next clip. A lot of people that I've worked with have asked me, all right, Peter, if I see something not in my zone and I want to call it, right? Because the covering official is busy doing something, how do I feel like I'm not fishing in someone's pond, right? That's totally understandable. And we don't want to be fishing in people's pond unless there's something big that happens, something big that will show up on video, right? A little nudge here and there, no. But if something big shows up on video, we got to catch it. It's like almost like a crew save and call. So we have a situation here that is going to occur well away from an official, and they're going to come up and make a strong call. We'll see here. So we're going to have a scrum. And then I want you to watch this gentleman right here, right at my cursor, big number 25. Look what he's going to do. Boom. Just knocks the guy down, pushes him down, right? This official right here, he's worried about what? He's worried about out of bounds play, right? looking for making sure no one's reclamping, no one else is holding. You have about 6, 7 players over there. So if you're going to make a call in somebody's zone, you have to sell it. So we want you to run over there, right? Make the call. Here we go. Run over. Kim is going to pan back. You come over all the way across, make the call, and we move on. So if you're going to make a big call like that, make sure you sell it. All right. That's very important to do that. All right, moving on. It's a little Syracuse, Virginia play here. I think this might be our dive play here. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We'll watch it a couple times. All right. We'll watch it again. So we're going to have a feeder. The difference is here, the ball's going to be passed inside, right? So, excuse me. And the receiver's going to catch the ball and then get drilled in the back, right? So in that situation, for those feeders, a philosophy came out after this play that occurred is we want to give if we're going to take a goal away, right? And he was going to get knocked in like that from a pass, right? We want to definitely go at least 1 minute on the defender. And we are not going to penalize the offensive player, even though he went into the goalie, because he did not go on his own volition. He was a person receiving a pass. So they want that done. Marty, you can comment on high school right now if you want on that type of play. But NCAA, that's how they want to rule it. I'll let you dive in.
Yeah, I don't think it's any different, right? I think you're saying that the guy was grounded and basically he became a projectile at that point, and was forced into the goalie, by the defender. So he would not have gone in on his own. Yeah, and they want us, even though that was like we call it a push in the field. They want that for a full minute at least on that play. But the biggest thing we can take away from this too is, look, you take our time. No one's signaling goal. We make sure everybody's okay. We have all the time in the world, right? Then we come over and we make a call. So we get another view of this. Whoops. Unfortunately, we gave them, we gave white a minute and orange 30 seconds. We should have gave orange a minute, and that's all. But you know what? New philosophy came out, and we learn, and we try to keep getting better. So you got another view of this coming up. Here it comes. And he just gets shoved in the back. But they want that to be a minute. All right. Our next clip here is a similar type of play. But what I want you to do is I want you to watch the lead. And this is something we definitely have to avoid. So they're going to work the ball around. The ball is going to get passed to the middle of the crease again. There it is. He scoops it up, shoots, gets hit in the back. But look at the lead. He signals goal, and then, let me just toss my flag. This is something we want to avoid here. Here we go again. Guy scoops it up, shoved in. Oh, and then throws his flag. They gave them just a push and wiped the goal out. BC ended up in the goal mouth. Remember, anytime somebody ends up, for NCAA, anytime somebody ends up in the goal mouth, we got to take the goal away. Doesn't matter how you got there, whether it was a good path or bad path. If we're taking a goal away, we definitely want to up it up to a minute. But this is the lead. It showed how just lazy the person got. You're signaling goal, not look at your partner, and now you're taking a goal down like that. Throw the flag, take your time. There's no rush. Separate the players, go somewhere with the single and talk away from the players, and then come up with your what the ruling is. All right. It's all about just taking your time there. Right. All right. Marty, talk to me. Yeah, real quick on that one. Your primary point is just that the order of the way things were done was poor. So throw the flag, communicate, then signal goal, no goal, penalty, whatever
Correct.
it is.
Wipe it out, whatever. Just because when you got to take a goal down, somebody signals goal, it's not good. It's definitely not good. This alludes to this play is going to allude to Marty's talk about restarts, but it's got a little twist on this. So let's take a look here. We're gonna have a situation where white is going to be called for a loose ball push. Rightfully so. It's going to come here in a second. We got a shot. Ball's loose, and now we got to push, right? So referee, as you see, came up strong, give a good point signal, but look what happened. Resets it, no problem. He's ready to go. But look who picked the ball up. White did. So, got a couple questions out there. One, you can see the coach down here wants to delay a game foul, right? He's livid because obviously it was Gray's ball. Have an opportunity to hopefully get a quick whistle and get the ball up the field, right? You can see this other coach is jumping out over here too, saying, what's the story? What's the story? Whoops, that's my bad. What's the story? So, suggestions on that. What we did, and Marty, you can more welcome to chime in here for what you guys like to do here, is what we did is we talked to Towson, to the coach, and said, hey, look, the guy might not have known. I cannot read an intent. I didn't know if my partner pointed correctly. Maybe he said the wrong color too. But we took our time, let everybody get subs. And then we went over to White's head coach and talked to him and said, look, if that happens again, we are definitely going to have a delay game foul. All right. Because your person cannot pick up the incorrect, cannot pick the ball up on like that when Gray's entitled to possession. Marty, is that the right thing you want to do for high school?
Yeah, I agree. I was just going to ask you, what do you honestly think happened there? Do you think that
I think
there was
maybe
just some
maybe my
confusion?
partner up top, he signaled correctly. Right?
Okay.
And we talked about this, and he said he might have called the wrong color out, right? And he pointed the right way. You know, it happens all the time on face-offs and things like that. He pointed the right way for Gray, but called out white, and things like that happen. And that's why I let this coach down here on Gray have a little more excitement. I let him come on the field. You know what? It's our mistake. We'll solve it, right? We stopped play. We let everybody get their substitutions in. And then we moved on. But I definitely talked to White, the head coach, said if that happens again. And he agreed. He understood. Anything else, Marty, from the play?
No, that's the way to do it. Great time for that cicada whistle, basically saying, hey, something's wrong here. We're going to get this right and then restart. Yep. The key thing is to get it right. You know,
exactly right.
There is no mechanic for that.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's slowing down. Look, yes, restarts, they want things fast, right? Get it and blow, get it and blow. But when it comes down to until all three officials are ready, we can't give them that quick restart. That's important.
Chris Cutler brought up a good point as well, that while he may have just said the wrong color, we know that a lot of newer officials will say loose ball, push white, gray ball, and they'll throw in two colors, which does confuse people. So keep that in mind. Just say loose push and who gets the ball. Keep that second color. Keep the offending color out of there. Everybody knows who offended. So
Chris and Marty, great job on that. Look, that's why we have question answer. Add stuff, guys. We all learn from each other. You're exactly right. Loose push, white ball, gray ball, whoever. The less you say during dynamic play like this, the easier it will become for you, and the players will know. Players will definitely know. And so, of course, the coaches are getting excited down over here, and we let that go, rightfully so, and then we just start back up. All right. And then, look, we delay and move on. Next play. This is something I noticed. I worked a couple high school games this year so far, and I don't know. It's kind of like monkey see, monkey do. And these kids or coaches start watching the games on TV, and they want to emulate them because obviously college, right? So this is something I saw early in the year. I saw actually a couple nights ago here is look what's going to happen. They're going to bring the ball up. Oh, wrong play. Never mind. We'll go back to it. So what we want to focus on here is this guy right here. Watch his cross. Watch his cross. Whoa. All right, watch it again. Watch his cross. makes a dive play. Does he throw it? I don't believe so. But if he does throw it, how many of you know what the foul is? That's why I brought that up. How many of you think you know what the foul is? Marty, what's the chat say? Somebody chime in. Let's see if anybody knows what the foul is. Marty, I know what, you know what college is? I mean, I know what college is. High school, Marty, unless you chime on what you want.
I believe high school is on sportsmanlike conduct for throwing your stick.
Yep. Same thing for college. Now, the ball hit the cross, but that was just an odd play. The guy dove out, threw his cross up in the air, had it in his hand, and the velocity of the ball knocked it out. But just something to be aware of. But look at Black. Is Black going to knock this cross out right here? What if Black sees that cross on the ground, takes his stick, and pushes his cross away? What do we have now? Probably unsportsmanlike conduct on Black.
Conduct.
Yep, exactly. So it's about just following the play, knowing your mechanics. He left it there, obviously, right? But that was just a weird play I found. Weird play. Whoops. All right, this play, we're going to have a goal score, and we'll let it play through here. Go on down, shoot, score. Coming to face off here. So we're going to have a hold by the official running left, right? No problem. And so mechanics about this. Here we go. The guy, the single side is going to blow it in. He's looking for the ball, right? And then we got our trail over here, the new trail, already stopping the players from coming across the restraining line. Great job on that, right? Stopping the play. So single side, we want you more at the midline. Tell the player where to go, right? I use the Disneyland, Disney World point, which is always 2 fingers. You go to Disneyland, Disney World, and you ask somebody where they're going, they will always use 2 fingers. I never use one. Use 2 fingers where they want them to go. Because look what happens to this guy, right? Yeah, it's middle second quarter. No one cares, right? All right. Oh, no, we blow it in. We got 2 players within 5 yards of each other, right? And look, they blow it in 6 yards forward. What happens if that's the 4th quarter, 5 seconds left? We got trouble in our hands, right? Big trouble in our hands. You gave them 6 extra yards, right? And you might have a decoy play coming here. So it's just positioning the player where you want them to go. And like I said, Peter, it's the 2nd quarter, who cares? No, it's going to matter because everything is repetition. If you keep doing this, all of a sudden 4th quarter, 10 seconds left, and you do that, and they go down and score with 1 second left, the video is going to be sent in and coach is going to be like, this is ridiculous. Why that guy get a head start? So just little things just get you better and better. We harp on it. Marty, you want anything?
No, I think that's spot on. You know, you got
just little things, guys, little things. All right. This is the play here that I was talking about earlier, right? Got mixed up here. I don't know if coaches are teaching this, but let's see what happens here, and we can pick up on stuff. Here comes a pick, going to come up here. They're going to work it around. We're going to have a pick play here in a second. And boom. Flag is thrown. We'll look at it again. Get ready for the pick play. Look what the defender does. Pushes the guy trying to make the pick. Pushes him right in the back, which then hits the other defender. And my partner, he killed it dead because he didn't see the push, rightfully so, for a legal screen. But we had a flag down and we enforced the interference. But I've seen a lot. And something that I've been doing lately, too, after I've seen this play, is we'll set it up right, and I'll be yelling right here at this defender in black, saying his number, whatever number it was, 25, do not push the picker. He pushes him, flag is out, right? And unfortunately, he does, right? So that's something I've seen, especially, I didn't see it up top a lot, but especially behind the cage, right? Trying to get matchups. So if you see it and they push the picker, throw it. A little nudge, and the guy runs by him, you got nothing, but you're looking for a big disadvantage, and there was a big disadvantage. Marty,
Yeah.
chime in.
Pete, probably a reasonable chance that kid was a Canadian. That's a legal play and expected in box lacrosse. So that's that's how you defend that pick in box, and that's perfectly legal. So that, I'm guessing that might have been a Canadian. And
Probably.
that's how they would normally do it.
Probably could, but like you said, box lacrosse, good. Field lacrosse, ain't happening. Ain't happening. All right, next play here. We got 14 plays. I don't know what number I'm on here. It says 11. All right, Virginia Syracuse. Bennett, you online? You want to take this one? Bennett? You there? No? Dan? No? All right. This is a play where the face-off player is going to get the ball and then get hit. So here we go. Takes the ball, goes down, shoots, scores. It looks vicious, right? Definitely late, but this is what I love. My partner coming in right there. Jim Blankner, number 24, coming in, stopping the escalation. Because this thing could have gotten out of hand pretty fast, right? He gets in there, all of us are in there, get away. And at this point, right, the flag was thrown. There is no rush, as you can let this play out. There's no rush to go over and report the flag, right? We got plenty of time, make sure everybody separates. I even, in fact, since there was 2 people there, right, to make the hit, right? Flag was thrown, I threw the flag. I'd be honest with you guys, I couldn't tell what number it was. So what did I do? I walked into the huddle and said, all right, who's going or I'm picking, right? And they knew. They told me who did it. We brought him out. So that's what I'm saying right now to the guys. I'm looking around, saying, all right, who's doing it? Who's coming? They told me we got the right guy out. And if not, I was just going to pick somebody. And trust me, they know they will throw people underneath the bus pretty fast. They don't want to be in there. And then what happens here? 11, right at the benches, mouths off, right? Mouths off. So the Syracuse bench hears it. UVA bench hears it. Easy call. Now we go back to the play right here. Sure, there was plenty of jawing, right? F you, this and that, right? We don't, that is something, look, these people in the heat of the moment, I'm not throwing 5, 6, 7 unsportsmanlike conducts. We're separating. The reason we threw this one, right, was because it was right in front of the benches. Everyone heard everything, and we cannot have that from the benches like that. That's an easy call, and brought him out. Marty, talk to me. How do you want to handle that for high school? What do you think, man? It's a good talking points for everybody.
No, that's a great point. That's a motion. And when the play immediately happened, then what you flagged him for was grandstanding. And grandstanding always gets a flag. If we want to see who's got the bigger flag, we're always going to win that argument. All right, so that's a perfect time to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, it was in front of the benches. I mean, no one's going to ask you, oh, what did he say? Everyone heard it. So it's a simple, and reporting fouls. We get into this, right? About reporting fouls, right? Take our time, right? Look, push the guy back where he's supposed to go, get everything set, right? Slow down, pause in between fouls. I cannot say that a month, right? Pause, take your time, right? Give the signals, and then move on. Make sure the benches know what you got, and obviously point direction where the ball's got to go.
And a really good point to bring up here. And a lot of sometimes we tease Pete and we talk about his camera presence and stuff like that. But remember, almost every game is on camera now, right?
Yep.
So not all of the games, as you'll notice, have audio to them. Okay. So oftentimes just seeing the foul or seeing the signal helps everybody know what was called, especially when you're reviewing film of one of your own games. All right. So take your time, make that call, make your signals big, and then you can communicate without even using any words.
And I'll tell you one thing. I know our Marty Joyner leader, he loves hopping on huddle and then going to watch and then seeing your fouls. Like he says, no audio, but he'll go right to the foul because they zoom in right there and see ya. All right.
Hey, Pete, this is Henry. Quick
Henry,
question.
talk to me, man. What's up, buddy?
No, still tired. Um, which way did you point for the ball for the
Great
team
question.
to
So
have?
let's go to it, right?
Because
so-
your arm went to Syracuse.
I'll tell
But-
you why. You
Went
ready?
to, no, it went to white. Look like you went to white.
No. So look
Okay.
which way White's attacking.
All right, you got me. I see it.
Okay, no problem, no problem.
Yeah.
So we had a dead ball, late hit,
Right.
right? So now we're going sequence. I'm just going over this for anybody who's new. So we got dead ball sequence. We knew that foul happened first, and then speed forward. This guy got it well after. So we know sequence and we point, no face off. And the coach obviously said, "Did you guys hear that?" I went, "Yes." So, yeah. All right,
Hey, Pete.
Marty, talk to me.
Yeah, Pete Stewart popped a question up that I think is a good thing to go over, especially how we've been teaching it and what's changed in the past. For a long time, we've repeated fouls. We said them twice. Okay. Has there ever been any guidance clearing that up about whether it should be said once, twice? It's always
Really
see, note, and
once.
repeat.
Well, also it depends, Marty. One, Virginia has a phenomenal box, right? I'm not dealing with high school girls, or high school kids, I should say, right? Who may not understand the game. If they don't understand the game, right, when you go talk to them before the game, you get a gist right away whether they know what they're doing. And slowing down, if you repeat it twice, that's fine. That's not going to hurt anything. But if you know you have a senior box, right, once, get out of there. I mean, that's a good point, though, Mr. Stewart. Keep the questions coming. Keep the comments coming. Don't think that, I might think whatever. This is good. We're all learning here. All learning here.
All right. So the bottom line is that there's no real mechanic to do it once or twice. It's really situational based on who's receiving the information.
You'll see games on TV. More than likely, it's going to be one time. I mean, just one time. But hey, I mean, if I go to a school that has whatever, somebody that I feel is not ready up to the challenge, I'm going twice. Just make sure.
We have another question from Henry that he popped up.
Go for
And
it.
he said, do you tell the box the release time? I doubt seriously you would see that happen at the college level, except for maybe if you got down to the mid to lower level Division IIIs where you've got people on work study. But at the high school level, certainly recommended. Tell them the time on the clock that foul is coming out, and you tell your partners right when you restart what time that foul is coming out. You can't under communicate this information. It solves a lot of problems.
Oh, I agree with you because there's a lot of times out there, Marty, where we are, I look up at the clock, right? And I'm like, okay, I know the penalty time. Good. They're not offsides, right?
Right.
Little things like that. You're exactly right. Communication. You can never really over communicate.
Right.
can't.
You can always trick the people at the table when you start and say, all right, what are you going to use to count penalties? And they'll hold up their iPhones and you're like, no, those get put away during the game because you're using the game clock.
Exactly. I mean, the good thing is too, is Marty on the scorebooks, right? They write down whatever the number, 14, the infraction, unsportsmanlike conduct, 1 minute. And then next to it, they should write down when it expires. So if somebody leaves early or something like that, you can come back, bring them in. You had this much time on, just little things like that. All right. Good
Yeah.
talk, man. This is great.
Yeah,
Any
one
other
more.
questions,
Pete,
Marty?
yeah, Pete Stewart brought this up too, and this is something that's changed as well. He brought up the fact that we are not, I guess we're not doing C note anymore with the number, or we're not signaling the number with our hands like we used
We're still
to do
doing
in the
C
past.
note,
Right.
but not sing with the hands. It's just point the direction. I always like giving which team it's on.
Yeah.
That's just me. So everyone knows at home, fans just they know who's on. And then you're right. No more fingers.
What was the logic behind that? Just confusing the
People-
penalty count?
It just
Sure.
made us look bad, right? At home, we were doing this, and people are like, "What are you doing?" Once again,
Okay.
TV owns everything. Once you get TV involved, they want to streamline everything, the process, right? Just look funky. We were doing this for 9, right?
Yeah,
7.
right. Nobody knows what that means.
No one knows. Who cares? Just tell us, verbalize the number. We'll be ready to go. It sounds like Pete Stewart might sign up for next one. He's got a lot of good questions to share. He's really good. All right. Moving on to the next one here. Okay. So this is the Bermuda Triangle, guys. This is where it happens right in the midline, right near center X. A lot of crap happens. So we'll play it forward. Let's just see what happens and we'll go from there. So we had a shot clock violation, 80s on the clock. We're rolling. Here we go. Guys didn't get hung up, right? Gets hung up. And then here we go. Boom. It's nailed in the head, then gets hit, right? Oh, not good situation. So once again, my partner right here saving the day. Look at him. He was all the way down, probably towards GLE. He is sprinting down. He sees a possible powder keg. This is amazing, right? We see Syracuse guys thinking about what's going on. Can we come into the bench and everything? This is something that is huge. All right. That's underrated right there. So he comes in, separates everybody, helps us out. We come over. Once again, slow down, make your fouls here and everything. We'll watch another replay of this, and we got the call right, but I think we should have maybe gone possibly 2 minutes on the hit instead of 1. So we got a cross check and then we pause and stop. And then we got a legal body check for on the ground, hit him on the ground. You can't do that. So we'll go to another view here. It's going to show us up high, slows it down. Right there. Oh, I mean, we took 26 for the cross check, and then there's legal hit on the ground hitting him. I think looking back at it, we should have gone maybe 2 minutes and then 1 minute for a legal body check on the ground. Look, that's why you watch these videos. The more you see it, the more you'll see it. It'll be quicker for you to pick up. All right, Marty, what else you got before we move on?
Lou Seidman just chimed in that the U.S. is up 3-0.
Are you kidding me?
That's soccer.
41st minute. I just looked real quick.
That is tier. It's big. I'm recording the game. I didn't want to know, but now I'm happy, so it's okay. Don't worry about it. All right. So
Renee Poussin.
so there you go. Marty, remind everybody about high school high hits. You get in the head, what must occur? Talk to us about that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Some of you may have noticed in the men's game officials, a lot of the stuff's been going around. I put a very similar situation to this one in. And boy, there is just no unity or consistency on what people want to call. And I think we run into this problem as well with what Pete's talking about. The rule book hurts us, but bails us out in some situations. And if we have a cross check, okay, to the head or neck area that you call and that you say you have no choice but to go 2 minutes, you must. All right. We had a situation in our game the other night at West Potomac and with Pat and Davis Wagner, and we had a cross check. Yes, it made a little contact with the neck, but it really didn't meet the criteria for a 2-minute foul. So we gave a cross check foul. All right. It wasn't that type of foul. It slid up. But when you announce that it happens to the head or the neck area, you have no choice but to go 2 minutes at that point, and it has to be non-releasable. Okay. The other thing to add there too is that because we're not starting at 1, okay, some people forget, especially coaches forget, that you can have a 3-minute foul without an ejection.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have an ejection without a 3-minute foul unless it's on a coach, but you can have a 3-minute foul without an ejection. So the layers that we have are 2, 3, and then ejection on top of it. We used to think of, if we're going to go 3, we're probably going to go ejection, but that's when we had the 1 to work with. Okay. So the biggest problem is they're so infrequent and they catch these players off guard because they don't generally play that way. And that's why they appear to be so much worse when they happen. So we'd love to get more consistent on it, but we're humans. We're not going to be.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard.
That's what officiating's about. We're not. So if the coach is yelling at you, Marty, you brought up language that it hit him. What was the language you used when that guy hit him, but didn't use some language? But the language I use when I'm talking to coaches, right? And they're like, Peter, why isn't that a 2-minute? Or why isn't that whatever, 3 minutes or whatever? I go to him and goes, Coach, it didn't rise to the level of a 2-minute foul. So, I mean, that's just I see it doesn't rise. Or, Coach, like, why isn't that a slash? Coach, it didn't rise to the level of a slash.
Right.
I mean, if you just use that. And then, of course, you can follow up with, if I'm going to call that a slash, Coach, we're going to be here a long time because we'll be throwing our flags a lot. We normally just let it go. So just a little something there. All right.
And the balance is different in every game. And, you know, for those of you that don't know Pete's background, Pete started as a youth official with NVLOA back in the day in WALOA and rose all the way through the ranks, as did Dan Bennett, as did most of our college officials. And in all honesty, some of their youth games in the past are probably harder to do than these Division I games.
I don't know if I could do a youth game today, Marty. Oh my God.
Right.
I don't think I could. I don't think I could.
In Division I lacrosse, the fouls are obvious, and the kids know that they're fouls when they do them.
Exactly. You're right about that. Next play. This is trusting your partners. So right here, the lead, we're going to have a shot on goal here in a second. But look what happens to the shooter, right? Look what happens to the shooter. So he's ready to go. We got a pick play coming. Oh, let me pause this for a second. Let me go back. Wait, look at number 8, right? What am I going to tell number 8 after this play?
Keep your stick up.
Yeah, because guess what? It's going to be an illegal screen like this. So after this play, I did definitely talk number 8 because that's just laziness. If White would have caught part of his stick, easy call, and you can't defend it. But exactly right, Henry. It's all about proactive officiating. If I can get kids not to do something right, like shoving the guy in the back for interference, that makes our lives a lot easier. Be proactive. Talk to these kids, right? Talk to them. So here we go. Boom, ducks under, nice pass, shoots, gets nailed. And of course, this guy's right here looking for the goal. He's got to trust his lead back here to throw the flag, right? For a late hit cross check, in which the lead did, the trail did. So go back, look at it one more time. Boom. Late. There's no way I'm going to get that. Not by mechanic wise. I'm going back with the ball, right? So you just got to trust your partners out there. I know they got my back, right? I'm going with the ball. My trails honed in on them, making sure, follow through and everything. All right, last play, I think. This play garnered some interesting thing when this was on TV because they did not have this view. The TV did not have this view. We're going to have a hit on Navy, a pretty clean hit on Navy, but then it's what happens afterwards. So it's all about staying with your players, right? Responsibilities, mechanics. I cannot harp on that enough. If I'm fortunate enough to work with you, we're going to be working on mechanics the entire time. John McKinney, if you're on this call, we're working on Tuesday together. Get ready. All right. So here we go. This also, it's critical here. Like John McDade brought up a good point, talking about throwing flags, when to throw it. Do we have to? There's a minute, maybe 2 minutes left in this game, and Hopkins, I believe, is down by 1 when this foul occurs. So you want to make everything big. So here we go. So they're going to work it down. He's going to beat his man. Pause it right there. Good hit, right? Good hit. Easy slide. Good hit. Look what happens afterwards. Boom. Elbow right to the guy on the ground, right? Throw the flag and told my partner, hey, illegal body check while the ball's on the ground. When you have plays like this, give a little more explanation maybe. That's just me to say illegal body check, player was on the ground, 1 minute. Just so everybody knows. Because everyone goes back to the beginning here, right? And sees the initial hit. Oh, that's good. Oh, wait, boom. So little things like that, guys. Just little things will help you out. Marty, what else you got?
I think one of the key things right there too is you stayed with the play even though the ball had moved 20 yards up.
Oh,
and then that responsibility became the single side at that point. So that's the key thing about staying with the play.
Yep, you're right. If I took my eyes off of that, guess what's going to happen? Hobbs is going to send the video in. I'm going to get a little nice nasty gram email text saying, Peter, why'd you miss a clear legal body check on the ground? Oh, crap.
Yeah, Brian Burns has asked a question. NFHS rules state that 2 minutes if there's a defenseless player on the ground. And correct, that would be a 2-minute foul. Yes.
Great pickup. Great pickup there. So that's good. So Those two plays, the Syracuse, Virginia play and the Bermuda Triangle, and he gets hit in the ground, and that plays 2 minutes. Now, Marty, is that 2 minutes? You said non-releasable, is that correct?
They are non-releasable in NFHS rules, yeah. Because they fall in the defenseless player category.
There you go. There you go. All right, guys, 7:50. I'm open for any questions. Anything, anybody has a question on mechanics? Ask them, guys. This is the time. Don't be afraid. Don't be like, oh my God, is this real? Is somebody really gonna make fun of me for me asking that? No way. You nuts? Come on.
Hey, Pete, can we go back to the first clip where the guy was playing in the box? Because does that talk to me a little? Can you talk a little bit through about that versus
Yeah,
offside
Noah.
versus covering the deep,
So
going
what
the
I
other
want
direction?
here is this. Boom. We'll pause it. Look where he's at, right? Bad position. We want him to be more back behind the pylon there at the substitution area, right? And straddling the line so you can see one who the ball go off of if we have a push. He's away from everything, right? More than likely this ball's not going over the midline, right? So if you stay by that pylon, you're in pretty good position and you're away from the coaches. Is that your question, Noah?
Yeah, I was just curious the thought between worried about going the other direction and the offsides and everything else that guy has at the same time in positioning.
But here you go, offsides, yeah, but look where the ball's going though.
Yeah.
Ball's gonna go out of bounds. I mean, if this guy somehow saves it, that'd be amazing. But you're right though about getting back. Now, if the ball was out over here, right, towards the midline, then yes, you want to be on the midline looking what's happening, right? That's what I would do. But that's great point, Noah. Excellent work there. Good pickup.
Pete, a chat question from Pete Stewart. How do you deal with a blatant mistake by a crew member?
A blatant mistake by a crew member. Look, Pete, are we talking about like,
Hang
Pete,
on
open
one
up your
second.
microphone for a second, so we have a quick conversation.
Yeah, no, I got it. I just opened up. I'm talking about, let's say it's not necessarily a slash. It's clearly a brush. Your partner's on a different angle. He calls a slash, and you've got to explain that near side to the coaches. How do you deal with that moment?
All right. First things first, the guy's going to put down his flag, right?
Yep.
First thing is if it's near me, like you said, maybe have a conversation with the guy before he reports it, but more than likely I'm going to go with it, right? It's his judgment. Remember, that's a judgment call. And you and I might have a different perspective of judgment. Hopefully you've talked about that in the pregame, how you want to call it, right? And unfortunately, if that's the first slash call of the game, he set the bar pretty low for slashes, right? Because we want to be try to be consistent. So I would definitely next dead ball talk to said official and say, hey, you know what? Remember, slashing. I look at it. I didn't think it was there. Not questioning judgment, but let's make sure if we have a slash from now on in the game, it rises to the level where it's a strike and below, right? That's what I would say to him. That's a tough one, but definitely, I don't want to pick a flag up unless it's something really, really egregious.
But the key
a slash is a judgment though, right?
The key takeaway that you said, a direct strike in below.
Correct.
That is huge. And that's what we have to truly understand, because a check can come to the chest and end up in the head, whatever. That's direct strike and below.
Correct. Like you said, a brush is a brush. And look, I don't want kids out here swinging sticks wildly, but they got to make some decent contact around here, right? And these kids play through it a lot. Even the high school kids do as well. Looking for direct strike and blow. If a coach asks, why didn't you call it? Coach, it wasn't a direct strike and blow. And just move on. But good point, though. That's a great question, Pete. What else we got, Marty? Keep the phone lines open.
Just to follow up to what you and Pete were both talking about there are developmental stages with officials. When you first get out there, you're afraid to make a call.
Oh, yeah.
Then you get overconfident and you throw the flag. Then there's really stage 3 of being an official. And that is the art of the no call, realizing that, yes, you could have called that foul, but is it appropriate to call it in this situation? I think, again, John McDade covered that as well. And then you move on to crew chief development and leadership on the field and those kind of things. So realize that some of you are in different positions, there are reasons why you have senior officials sometimes on your games as field judges, okay, to help guide you through those processes as you become a referee or a leader on the field. So feel free to lean on those guys if you see that it's obvious that you have a senior official on the field with you in a non-referee position. Ask them what they would have done. Ask them what they would have done differently.
Marty's right about that. But Pete, one thing else too is I don't want to stop the game and have like bring everybody in, all three officials, and have a conversation about that. No, you wait that to the dead ball situation, right? We have a timeout or something like that. You don't want to stop the game for anything and then bring everybody together. Just
Yeah,
something to-
Chris Cutler just chimed in about Mike Cleveland always telling him, "Don't be that good." That's a key phrase that so many
Oh,
have
totally.
used over the years.
Totally,
So-
totally. The biggest thing, I mean, look, you get up in the varsity games and you move up to IAC and you're fortunate enough to get those games. Remember, the big fouls matter, right? Things that show up on video. I mean, that's the biggest thing is you're looking for the big fouls, guys. I mean, you don't want to be that good. What else, Marty? What else we got?
Anybody?
All right, we got Brian Burns chimed in. Peter, you ever checking face-off sticks?
Yeah.
Look, I will say this. In fact, it was funny you mentioned that. I was having a conversation with somebody who does pretty important high up in the NCAA. And I asked him straight up, I go, do you want us to do face-off sticks? His response, every stick is eligible to be checked. And it is. So every stick is eligible, Brian. You do what you want.
Yes,
But,
but is
but-
every stick eligible to be illegal?
What do you say? What was that?
Is every stick checked subject to being illegal?
Any stick on the field, even if it's in the bench area, can be checked. Is that what you're asking?
It's actually more of a judgment call than whether you would actually, if you had an illegal stick in opening face-off and it was tight by, let's say, an inch, would you call it?
So opening face-off, I'm checking sticks right away. Is that what you're asking?
Yes, yeah.
All right, opening face-off, I'm definitely not checking sticks. Definitely not. Timeouts, quarters. We don't want to slow the game down, right? Coming out like, look, if you want to get face-off sticks, you can. But the biggest thing is this: the two guys come out, you'll know what two numbers if you want to do at the end of the first quarter. But every stick is eligible. But look, I'm not trying to fish for trouble out there. We don't want to go looking and have multiple minutes flags and everything like that. Look, that's why the coaches have in the rules, hey, they get one free stick check. If they want to do it, they can do it, right? But every stick is eligible on the field. Every stick is. That's a good question. Marty, you want to chime in?
I think we mentioned this last week too, that there was a time at the college level where we were checking sticks at the beginning of the game. We were checking the face-off guys before we even started, and that was actually a TV situation that got nixed, and we stopped doing it. So now we've gone back to this sort of misnomer that we don't check face-off guys. The one thing I'll tell you, and I think Pete will agree, is that there is a little bit more tolerance for a face-off stick, but the bottom line is that the ball still needs to come out freely and the pocket cannot be deep, right? Those are the two givens that have to be there for a face-off stick. We know they're going to get warped and all those kind of things, but if that ball doesn't come out or they can pinch and pop and carry it, then that's not a legal stick and should be called.
Yeah. I mean, everyone get checked. I'll leave it at that. What else we got, Marty?
Henry Jiggets, do you ever direct your partners if you see something about to happen? Henry, you want to chime in and clarify that a little bit?
Okay, so the lead's down the corner, ball's coming in. He sees a single that he's not in position. Do you wave your single over to the crease to be in position in case something happens?
Well,
Because you're out of space. Right now, you'll be out of position to turn around and run to the crease.
I see what you mean. So you're leading. You want to. Well, of course. Remember, if you're in the corner, the lead should be down there covering that goal line, regardless. So hopefully that lead knows the mechanics. I mean, you can try to tell them to move down, but make a note of that, and then when you come for a dead ball, go over that situation again. I don't want don't want to say you don't want to embarrass anybody by saying, get down, get down, get down. But just make a note of that and tell them, hey, I need help. I'm pushed out. You got to cover that goal line.
Right, and probably not something you're going to deal with much at the level you're officiating, but as we bring new officials into the game, especially on youth games and stuff, we'll see that more and more. So that's a dead ball between quarters type of conversation.
Yeah. It's good. Good questions. These are really good questions, guys. These are stuff that if you have a question, ask it. Don't be afraid. Don't be like, oh, what's he going to think? Who cares? Seriously. Anybody else, Marty?
All right, last call. Anybody got anything else?
Yeah, I got one.
All right.
Go for it.
Rather than type it out. And the NCAA, are you guys using on-field radios?
We are not. I would love them, but we are not right now. Nope.
What are your thoughts on them? I think they're awesome personally.
Oh, they're amazing. They're amazing.
Did you use it-
As
did you-
John
Did you use it in the
McDavid
PLL?
suggests, in the SEC, they use them all the time. Right? Just it speeds up things, speeds the game up as in penalty enforcement. You can get on, push a button, be like, hey, 22 blue, offsides. Instead of running over saying, what number is that? Can't see. What is it? And then running back over to the box. And or you can just help people out saying, hey, it's white ball, guys, white ball. Little things like that. I would love to get them. I mean, if Marty wants to maybe have a fundraiser for everybody here.
Yeah. They do use them in field hockey, I think is the one high school sport where they use them. Pete, did you use them in the PLL?
No, we did not use them in the PLL.
We use
Okay.
it in football.
Yeah, football. They use them in
Yeah, football.
but not in the PLL. No.
Oh, I didn't realize football was talking to each other. I thought they were just talking up top. Okay. Chris Cutler's got a question. Chris, you want to open up and talk?
Yeah, sure. So I have to go off of so when we're doing like a trail versus lead and who has that whistle. So it's the ball is being transitioned to downfield and that trail has that sideline. The ball switches hands, it switches possession, and now the trail and the lead switch now. So everyone's trying to make the right play and the quick whistle as it goes out of bounds. But when there's those multiple lead changes and those resets, and that trail and lead could go back and forth, how do you determine so we don't have a double whistle?
You're talking about restarts, or you're talking about when the ball goes out of bounds?
No, though the ball is like so let's say white is moving downfield and now loses possession, and now red has the ball, and now the trail and the lead switch, right? So now that that they both, now the trail is the lead and the lead is the trail. And then that happens maybe 2 or 3 times. How do you deconflict that between the trail and the lead officials on who's going to get that sideline as the ball, if the ball goes out of bounds?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're saying, okay. So you're saying before the ball goes out of bounds, whose sidelines is it basically?
Yeah.
All right.
Pete, kind of sounds like he's talking almost like a clearing situation, right? Where we're in a big spread triangle type.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like. Look, to be honest with you, whoever can get it, right? Because if you're such wide, right, it doesn't matter if it comes in the middle of both of you, right? What I do in those situations, I'll be honest with you, is I see the ball go out of bounds, right? I raise my hand up in the air and I freaking freeze. I look at my partner down the way to make sure they're going to agree with me, right? I freeze. If I point the wrong direction, he points the other one. Now we got some issues. So I freeze. I look at him, right? And we make eye contact, and we either give a signal, a small signal or something like that, and then we move on. Does that clear it up for you?
Yeah, a little bit. So, but like, who kills the whistle? Like, who blows the whistle? So,
Anybody who sees the ball go out of bounds on that situation, when it's in between you, anybody, because you're not in a settled situation, right? You're clearing, the ball's going back and forth, right? Anybody sees it, but then you raise your hand up, and like I pause, right? Because whoever blows the whistle, if I blow the whistle, everyone's looking at me. No one's looking at my partner, and my partner can give me like a head nod or something like that. So, Marty, you want to chime in? That's what I would do.
Chris, as far as, first of all, on the stopping whistle, on the whistle that stops play as it transitions up the field, it's almost always going to be the trail in most situations, because the new lead will be hustling to get into play. And you got to remember to keep an eye on him if he has his back turned. So that's one thing. And then on the restart, it's almost always going to be determined on which half of the field it's on, or whether, if it's already cleared, whether it's outside the restraining box or not. So it's common sense at that point, whoever's really closest to it. And that also brings up a good point that we've been going over a lot lately. We always say that the single has all counts, but there are situations where other guys can take counts for like the 10-second count. And that's if the ball is already cleared, you're starting a penalty and you still have to serve the 10 seconds. And that's a situation maybe where the trail would pick that up. So again, common sense does take precedence over the mechanics manual sometimes.
That's a great question. It happens more often than we realize. Though.
Yep.
It does. Just slow down, trust your partner. And you know what? If we have a double whistle, it's okay. Right? It's all right. We're gonna roll through that. Everyone knows whose ball it is, and we go. Like Marty said, yeah, I really like the trail trying to restart things so the lead can get to his spot. That's just me. What else we got, guys? I know it's 8:05. We keep going though. If you have a question,
Anybody else tonight?
don't be afraid. Guys, this is perfect.
Hey, I got a split, but this is Pete Stewart. Pete, that was absolutely awesome.
Oh, hey, Pete, you know what? I'm glad, man. You know what? If Marty wants to have me back, I'll get new video clips. I have a crap ton.
Incredible knowledge.
Well, thank you, sir. I have a crap ton of clips. That's one thing, guys. If you guys want to send me clips of a high school game, freaking clip it out, send it to me. I'll give you my opinion, and we go from there. Am I right all the time? No, but you can bounce things off of me. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, and this is stuff that happens a lot more behind the scenes, and you guys appreciate.
Oh,
You know, Pete and I have sat around going over clips, and he goes over clips post game with his crews.
Oh,
It's just what makes you better. That's really what makes you better.
Marty's right. Heck, I got a freaking 10 o'clock call tonight with my guys from Marquette. I clipped out like 12 plays that we're going to go over. Just trying to get, because these guys are new, trying to get them better. I mean, that's the way I learned is video will, the more you see it, the more you'll be able to see it on the field easier.
And guys, you're also welcome to do this as well. This doesn't have to be, always Pete Buchanan, our Division I official. It can be anybody that wants to take the opportunity to do this with one of their own games. And we'll be more than happy to help you out with anything that you have questions on or any clarifying points that you have. One last point to make real quick is that we've got a strange weather week coming up where we're going to start off pretty cold. So please, please, please remember to warm up. Okay. And I know we're going to be getting warmer by the end of the week, but please warm up. Remember, it's not summertime yet. Okay. We need everybody to stay healthy and get yourselves ready before you hop on the field. All right. No problem saving yourself during that GV game. I have no problem with that whatsoever. All right. If I ever evaluate you on 2-man JV mechanics, you can fire me at that point. All right.
Yeah, JV mechanics. Yeah.
Yeah, really. All right. All right. Last call. Anybody got anything else tonight?
No, this was great. Thanks, Marty. Thanks, Pete.
No problem, guys.
And I did remember to hit the record button, so we'll be good. We got this one. All right, gentlemen, we are out of here. Have a good night, and we will talk again online on April 24th. Please reach out if you need anything.